morning and welcome to our show. Today we have with us Mr. Matthew Garcia, a behavioral therapist for the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start off, tell us a little bit about what you do. Walk us through what a day in the life looks like.
So my official title is a behavioral therapist, and what I am so fortunate to do is work with autistic kids. The age ranges, right now my youngest client is about 5 years old and then the oldest is 21. And what I do is basically work with these kids and kind of try and teach them functional communication and just kind of how to interact with the world and how to someday grow up and be able to live on their own.
Very cool. So what qualities do you think makes up a good behavioral therapist?
A good behavioral therapist really needs to have a lot of patience. One of the hardest aspects of this job is the fact that it takes a lot of time. Teaching a child in his own is proven to be a difficult task. Trying to teach a kid who kind of has a different way of thinking is even more difficult. So these lessons that we teach them, they aren't just lessons that last one day. It's not a 2 + 2 = 4 moving on kind of thing. It really takes a step-by-step process, and with each day we try to grow on top of those lessons and try to build the gaining of more information. So these lessons may take weeks, they may take months, they could even take up to multiple years for them to finally understand. But we really just strive to be as patient as possible, and then in addition as enthusiastic as possible. You want to make these lessons as fun as you possibly can. The kids don't really want to make it seem like it's just doing more work. Some of them already go to school and they don't necessarily need more schooling. What they need is someone who's going to be attentive to their needs and someone who's really going to make it as most fun, I guess you could say, as possible for them.
Very cool. What is supposed to be your greatest challenge, so to say, in working with your clients?
The greatest challenge, as I said, is that patience. Just kind of understanding that this isn't a very quick type of job. It's not something that you can just do one thing and done and moving on. It takes time in, time out, a lot of effort and a lot of enthusiasm. Like I said, getting these kids to just kind of sit and understand and learn is a difficult process in its own, and then taking a child, like I said before, with a disability, more of a different way of thinking, it presents its own challenges. So just holding composure and being understanding of the situation that they're in can really just improve the results overall.
All right, and what would you say is your favorite part about your job?
My favorite part of the job is actually being able to interact with their families. We do a lot of home-based sessions, which basically means we get to enter their home and teach lessons in a comfortable environment to them. So it tends to be a little bit more cooperative when they're in, say, their room or their own living room, around their family, where they feel safer and they feel as though we're less of a threat to their safety. So being able to enter their homes and having the families being so welcome to us is one thing that I really truly appreciate, and one thing that I definitely don't take for granted, because they really do their best to make the environment as comfortable and safe for us as well, and they really treat us as part of their own family. As we begin to work so long with these clients, they become to see us as more of like an older brother, an older sister, a mentor type of figure. So being able to give to them and having that reciprocated in kindness and acceptance and so on and so forth is really just the best part of the job.
All right, well, thank you so much for continuing to do what you do, and thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you.
That is all we have time for today. Thanks so much for tuning in.